Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I got a lot of good feedback from my last reading. You guys seem to like me drawing the cards in the present for this one. So I'm going to do that again for this week. So this is going to be all about the Divine Masculine and what he wants to say to you. And we're going to have three piles here. We're going to have a headspace, heart space, and action space. And then we're going to clarify some of the cards with an oracle deck. Look at some of the messages that your Divine Masculine has for you. And then channel some advice from Spirit as to how to proceed with the best possible information moving forward. Okay, so starting out in the headspace, what is the Divine Masculine thinking about? We have the Two of Wands, a very lovely sign right off the bat. Partnership, cohesiveness. We have the Hanged Man in reverse, okay? Feeling a little impatient perhaps, wanting to break free. And then we have, I haven't seen this card in a while. The Six of Cups here, nostalgic energy. Okay, moving on to the heart space. Well, that's our card. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the heart space. Weaving our web, our own story, stories that we tell ourselves. Steady progress and work, transformation. Look at this, the Ten of Cups in reverse. Maybe not getting as far along as he'd like to be. Oop, and the Devil in reverse. Definitely struggling with maybe some addictions, some bad habits here. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there before we move on to our action space. Okay, so in the headspace, we have the Two of Wands. So this is a really good sign to start off the bat. Your Divine Masculine feels on most days that he's fairly stable. Look at how all the chakras are aligning here. He's finding out really truly how to balance himself. That's the lesson of the headspace for this week. And of course, there's an element of learning how to work with others, learning how to communicate better with others, tapping into one's own magic, as the wands here represent skills, crafts, and tradespeople that could use the wands for a variety of multi-purposes. But then we see some blockages here, and I want to find out more about why this Hanged Man is here in reverse. So we have the number 12, which reduces to 3, which is super interesting because we just had a reading all about what's going on in the collective with a lot of 3s in it. And as you know, August is a 3 universal month. So if we want to go forward and get that value of the stability of the 4s in September, we've got to go through the 3s. 3s can be a little bit of an unpredictable energy just because it is creation energy. And I mean, look here again, the Six of Cups, even though we kind of have this retrograde nostalgic energy, 3 plus 3 equals 6. So we're breaking this down a little bit and finding some patterns here. But I did draw a card from the Vessel Oracle deck to further clarify this Hanged Man, and I got Defeat. So your Divine Masculine is feeling a bit down on himself for whatever reason. And I feel like this is really connected with the Six of Cups. I think there's some wounding here left over. It might not be necessarily from your connection. It could be from childhood. Please be the childhood card that just dropped out of this. I would be so impressed if that happened. No, okay. So we do have healing. So yeah, there's just something that, and right under it is power. So I feel like for some of you, not only was there an imbalance in your situation, but there was an imbalance even before your divine masculine came into the picture here. I think this probably stemmed from childhood. I think for some of you, there was an unstable home type situation. Maybe the man of the house dictated everything that the females had to do. Maybe they came from a country where it's very patriarchal like that. I think that, you know, as this divine masculine is getting more acquainted with himself and what he needs, he's realizing that there is less and less of a need for power because, you know, when we think of the emperor or we think of kings, we have it all wrong, this idea of dominance. Dominance is not imposing your will on other people. Dominance is actually creating space so that another person can take his or her freedoms or liberties in that safe space that's created. It's a much more fatherly job than the despo or the tyrant or the dictator that embodies this idea of power really leads from. So a lot of transformation here with the snakes going on, and I kind of like how they mirror each other here. These roots of the tree, see how they're connected to that power imbalance here. So your divine masculine recognizes this, and he is working on it. So then we come over here to the heart space, and I am just dropping cards like crazy today. Okay. So, with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like your divine masculine is really, really busy at work trying to make a lot of things happen simultaneously. We still see this energy of, I need to have my 10 of Cups and I need to have it now. I feel like there's like competitive energy here with the 8s and the 10s, where like to some degree your divine masculine gets triggered and maybe they're watching you on social media. Maybe they have access to you in the physical 3D world right now. Maybe they're asking about you through friends. I have no idea, but they're keeping tabs on you and they're like, I need to be just as good as or better than this person, because I feel like that's such a masculine, that masculine competitiveness of, if I'm the strongest, I'll win, or if I'm the richest, I'll win, or if I'm the top dog, I will win, when in reality, they don't expect that of the feminine, so why would they expect that of themselves? There's this provider myth that needs to be shed collectively among the masculine right now, to where the masculine actually realizes, you know, sometimes my 10 of Cups means that I fucking rest. And relax, because if my whole life is about spinning, I'm going to get caught in this web, the web of lies, the web of stories, and it's going to become my entire identity. And I think that's where this devil in reverse is really coming from, because what do we do when we work really hard and we're not satisfied because we don't have a spiritual practice? We can't get to yoga, we can't exercise, we can't visit family, we can't do the things that nourish ourselves. We fall back on these bad habits. So today and in this week, the divine masculine's headspace and heart space are really intimately connected. He still is having trouble leading from his heart, because in the past his heart has yielded him these obsessive, addictive qualities, whereby which he, because he doesn't think from his heart at all, he ends up reacting from his heart. So it's just kind of a matter of kind of flipping these two things around, because the head is very logical, and the head would say, you're overeating, or you're not sleeping, or these things are, not good for you. But the heart says, just give it to me, patch up the holes that I've created for myself, put a Band-Aid over the situation. I can keep pumping for you. I can keep doing this. So it's just about really integrating that headspace and heart space for the divine masculine. I want to know just a tiny little bit more about the Devil in reverse, and maybe the Ten of Cups in reverse too. Okay, so yeah, we do have anxiety about this. How can I come towards my person? Will my person even want me when I come towards her? Does she even need me? And I think that there's a shift going on in the identity of the divine masculine as well, whereby if his job is to rest more, where does that leave the feminine? The divine masculine can't exactly wrap his head around the idea that we've expected a lot from the feminine. Originally, a lot of the times they were in the home, they were in charge of the domesticities and the children. And then something shifted by where women wanted more, so they, due to the war effort or what have you, just progressed to the point where we became an invaluable part of the workforce. And then it was like, okay, well, now you have to do both. So I think part of this power shift as well is realizing that there's a new beginning on the horizon, whereby we really do have to take our respective roles, but they're different this time. And they don't have to be solid. Like, one of the biggest reasons twin flames came to incarnate on this earth at this time is to show people that there is no rule book here. We don't have to continually do things as a collective or as a society. We can appreciate our individual differences and say, to be a stay-at-home dad works for me, or to not have kids works for me, or to have a relationship of differing religions or differing genders works for me. And it should work for you too, because if I'm happy, then society as a whole is a lot more happier. And that's why we say, things like love your enemies, because you realize at a certain point that if you're happy and other people around you aren't happy, then they're not going to wish the best for you. And at some point, you'll need the people around you to support you. And if they don't feel like you've supported them in some way, they'll let you fall. So we are a society in the sense that we depend on each other still. But it's just about asserting our boundaries and standing in our power to clearly define the space around us. So in the action space, I have death here. Again, more eights, transformation, transforming the stories that the divine masculine is telling himself. Ooh. We have the Two of Swords in reverse, thinking about making a choice, thinking about a new beginning. And then we have, there's some eclipse energy there too. How interesting. Ooh, look at this. The Two of Cups. So we have a beautiful outcome, and I cannot tell you exactly when, although we do have a lot of twos. Look, I even have the Two of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So I really feel like very soon, maybe 2 weeks, 2 months, some of us 2 years, but probably not that long. You're going to hear from your person, or they're going to come forward with new information that helps you along your path to enlightenment and evolution. It's going to create more cohesiveness. Look, see, I got truth. maybe something that you like previously thought something was your fault and it wasn't your fault. You had a misunderstanding about something. You were laboring under a misconception. And that person's going to come through. They might even apologize. This has apologetic energy written all over it. I feel like your divine masculine in some cases is going to go through this monumental moment that's going to trigger this death situation to where they're like, oh shit, this person was actually the choice that I should have made. Maybe I made the selfish choice. Maybe I tried to prevent them from being hurt and that was the wrong decision. And in reality, I've been thinking about this Two of Cups the whole time, or having a Two of Cups situation. Look, even more roses here. So it's all about just putting your pride aside and coming clean. Again, we've had this card for like weeks now. Communication, it just keeps coming up. There's something that really needs to be expressed here, and I want to know a little bit more about what that is right now. That's so crazy. Trust. So, yeah, I think for some of you, your divine masculine has some trust issues. Again, this might stem from this power struggle that he or she went through. And let's not begrudge our divine masculines if that is the case there, because, we can't change our upbringing, and a lot of things define us more than we really know. I was speaking to a friend today and talking a little bit about some of the things that happened to her in her childhood, and she was like, I managed to work through it. So she saw a therapist. I managed to work through it, but it took a long time. It was playing out in other ways in my life, in my relationships, and the way I manipulated my relationships to, try to heal in a really roundabout manner. So, as evolved as we're becoming, we're not always aware of these things in our subconscious. So just give your person that wide berth to discover themselves in their own time. Now I just want to pull a few messages here. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. So again, this might be part of this truth that this person is telling you or will tell you. Maybe they pulled away thinking, again, like I don't want to hurt this person. I'm just going to pretend that life will be better without them. And it didn't work because it triggered the spiritual journey, and they realized that everything came back to this idea of having this Two of Cups, this divine partnership where everything fits and was made for each other. What else? We have being apart has been life-changing for me. So again, there's that transformation, life-changing, death. Maybe they realize like they just wanted to stay the same person the entire time without you, and maybe there's a little like annoyance that maybe they stayed away because they were like, it's all this person's fault. If I had never met them, I would never, have gone through all of this pain and suffering. I know I screwed things up, and I honestly have no idea how to fix it. So again, part of the web of stories this person is telling themselves, maybe they victimized themselves to a certain extent, hoping that that will absolve them of their culpability in this situation. But I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. So I feel like that kind of goes with these power struggles this person may or may not be having. They reverted to, their highest form of training at the time, which in some cases could have been running. Or denial is a big one as well, or avoidance. And look, yeah, I feel safer in the silence. So let this person collect their thoughts. There's still some ruminating to do. We have the lovely energy of the sun now coming through with Leo. So I feel like and especially with the full moon on the 3rd, there's going to be a lot of illumination and in a more positive way, in a way that's going to make this person feel less vulnerable if you think about the Sun card. So on the bottom it says, I'm a better person because of you. And I think that's also part of this truth that this person wants to tell you. So don't worry, absolution is coming. It just might take some time. But again, with all of these 2s here, I really feel like help is on the way. Your angels, your divine guide team is with you, and you'll just get this sensation of when the time is right for this group of twins. So some further advice from Spirit we have from the Practice You deck is, how do you practice getting grounded into the core of your being? This is what my center feels like. So as your person is discovering their center of gravity and balance, you are also being called to do the same thing. What does my life look like when I don't have somebody to lean on? When I don't have somebody to sleep with? When I don't have somebody that I can call in the case of an emergency like this, if that resonates with you. And I think that for some of you, lessening that tendency to really depend on other people and putting that back on yourself is going to give you great liberation from fear, from anxiety, from tension, because at the end of the day, after you get over that hump, you'll know that you can do it. And this is something that I resonate with deeply. It has been a 7-month journey here. And then finally, now my husband is coming home. And I've learned so much about myself since he's been gone. I've learned what I like and what I don't like, and how I want my house to be structured, ideally. What energies I want to be surrounded by, what my ideal schedule looks like. And now we can have a better conversation about what our needs are around, because I feel grounded in what I've discovered. So I'm just going to leave you with that. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave comments down below. Share your journey. I love hearing from you. And then if you want to book a reading of your own, you can do so in the description box below. I've got a bunch of different readings. This one would be kind of the love relationship spread, but if you have one quick question you want to ask about your situation, you can do that for $20 and get a 15-minute recorded read sent to your inbox. So take advantage of that. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. And I've got a pick-a-pile coming up soon, so stay tuned. Have a great week.